Hello, this is a twist on Higga's SOS by Spencer Higga. This is one of the best beta nymphs out there. I made a few changes and today I'm going to show you exactly how I tie the blue wing olive version of it. For the hook today we're going to be using the Moonlit Premium TOGATTA ML501 in a size 16. I tie this in a 14, 16, and 18. The bead is the Moonlit Apple Pale Olive slotted tungsten bead. The thread is Semperfli Classic Wax 12/0 olive done. We'll start that behind the bead and go all the way back to the bend of the hook where I'll trim that out with the razor blade. I'm going to take a single strand of Semperfli Micro Glint, fold it in half, trim it, fold it in half again, and trim it so that I have 4 fibers. And I'm just going to take those and I'll pinch them over so that I can tie this in for the tail here. And there you see I've got that clump. 4 fibers there at the end. I'm just going to secure that down. And I don't want this to rotate, so I really carefully secure it on the top. Wrap it forward to secure it down a couple wraps. And then I'll pull that back and trim that out so that I can capture all of that thread underneath there to the bead. So we'll just trim that out now. And I really like this micro glint for the tail because it's going to give it a nice shimmer, and it's going to, as a fish take it, it's just going to become more buggy like. So I'm going to trim that out just behind the bend of the hook so I have a nice short tail on this. We'll go back to the bend and the tying point where we're going to tie in the Bright Damsel 0.2 millimeter wire. And we'll tie that in. And while I'm tying in the wire, one quick question for you. Are you more of a Euro nymphing angler, or do you like dropping a nymph off of a dry fly? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to know what you're running this fly on this fall. So here I'm just going to secure that wire in. I'm going to place it in the top where it slides into that slot on the bead. That's just my personal preference. And I'm just going to secure that down and wrap all the way forward. At this point, I'm going to create a taper to my body by wrapping forward and backwards several times. So we'll wrap back and we'll go forward. And I like doing this for my body because it creates a nice, even, smooth taper to my body and becomes more realistic to the fish, and I have better success. But that's possibly because of my confidence level in that. And I usually, on a size like this, I'm going to create a 3 to 4 step taper going forward and backwards. Once I've finished creating the taper to my body, I'm just going to open spiral wrap that wire all the way up to the bead, where I'm going to secure that down with a couple wraps in front, over the top, duplicate it again. Always in front to lock in your wraps over the back side of your material. Helicopter twist that out. At this point, I'm going to take a Mirage Blue Iris tinsel in a 1/32 inch. And I'm going to take that strand and I'm going to lay it along the side. And I'm just going to secure that in on the front. And as I'm wrapping lightly back, I'm just going to pull that tinsel into place. And I just want to pull it so that the tag end is covered. We'll wrap to about the 3/4 mark. And at that 3/4 mark is where our thorax is going to be. Now I'm just going to take some pine squirrel in the light olive, pale olive color. We will create our thorax with that dubbing noodle. We'll just wrap it. I want just a little bit more on here. I don't want to make this too big of a thorax, but this is going to give me my nice buggy look here. Once I'm there, I'm going to take that micro glint again. Take a strand, put it in half, cut it. Do that all over again so that I have 4 strands of legs on each side. Once I've got that trimmed out, I'll just take that, and you can see 4 strands. I'm going to lay that across right behind my bead, and I'm going to take my thread and secure that down. I'm going to manipulate, make sure I'm pulling that back and down so that I can lock in those legs where I want them on this fly. Securing that down on both sides. And then we can trim out our legs, and I like to go 3/4 of the body length when I trim these out. You can see I just need to trim that out and clean it up. Now I'll pull that tinsel over the top and secure that down and create our wing case. And I just like the blue iris. It gives me a nice shine and a little bit of a color contrast here. You can see that I pull that back and wrap over the top, and that's just going to secure that and push that tinsel backwards as I cover it up with some UV here in a second. We'll take and create our whip finish here with the 3 or 4 turn whip. And then I'll take the snip end on my whip finish tool and cut that thread out. Trim out any fibers that are kind of unruly. Take the Solarez thin hard and go over the wing case there, where we're just going to take and cure that up with our Moonlit UV quick dry pin. And there it is. So, and that's the Tactical Blue Wing Olive SOS ready to fish. If this fly earns a spot in your box, do me a favor, drop a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe if you want more patterns like this one every week. Tight lines, and I'll see you in the next tie.